Okay, Epic Block of the Month fans, we are on month number 4, and like I've been promising, it's a work month. We're not really building anything that goes into a block this month. We're just getting parts ready for the months to come. Super easy, but we do have some work to do. Are you ready? Let's get started. Welcome back to Epic Block of the Month. Epic is a wonderful 96 by 96 inch pattern created by my dear friend Charisma Horton from the Little Pink Barn. Folks, my name is Rob Appell from Stitch in Heaven out in Quitman, Texas, and we're using all of my new fabrics from Benartex. It's called New and Newer Worlds, and I am so blessed to see all of you on the other side of the camera out there for month number 4. Now, if you've been following along, you've heard me tell you this is going to be one of our work months. So we're just going to do some parts and pieces that will be used in the future. We're doing all quarter square triangles. If you've stumbled across this video, welcome. I would love to have you participate, but you do need to have a pattern and or a kit from one of your local retailers. Check us out. Make sure you have everything you need to follow along because we are on month 4 and we've already done the other 3 months, and we'll have a video each and every month for all 12 months. And we're going to dive right in now. Folks, we're going to be using all of our fabrics listed in our steps here. So don't forget, the fabrics are named with the Benartex names as well as the names used in the pattern here. So we've got some cutting instructions. We need to do 8 of the white and 8 of the black cuts. And then from all of the other squares listed, we're going to do 2 of them, and they're all 5 1/4 right now. Okay, so from here on out, what we're really going to do is a new form for this series of making quarter square triangles. We're going to end up like this. We need 32 of them, which is technically going to be 4 of each, I believe, if I'm saying that correctly. Nope, I'm sorry, my math was off. It's 8 of each, isn't it? So let's dive in, like I said, and get rocking and rolling here. The first set of instructions calls for us to stack all of our fabrics, but for accuracy, folks, I like to do between 4 and 6 layers, no more. So what I've got right here is I've got a couple of the color combinations, the pink and the red, and the purple and the blue number 1, but I've already used and made and created for the future videos, the future parts and pieces we need to be sewing along together. I've already made my green number 2 and my aqua set, and I've already made my orange and my yellow set. Those have already been completely stitched together, and they are being used in those months to come so that I would know how to teach. At any rate, I've got 4 here. I now have 4 pieces here, all stacked right sides together just to make it easier to separate them. And now what we really want is one of these wonderful Martelli mats. This is going to make life really easy for us. And I noticed my iron also needs to be encouraged to warm itself back up. All right, so now what we're going to do is I'm going to lay my ruler from edge to edge. And I'm going to put lots of nice pressure down, and I'm going to cut across, and I'm not going to move anything. I'm going to kind of peel the ruler up, and I'm going to rotate it so that I can have a nice right-handed cut again. And I'm kind of finding this lower corner with my eye, and I'm dropping to the upper corner so that nothing is moved. This is going to give me my most accurate set of triangles, but you could still see the fabric was shifting a little bit. We're going to do that again here in a second. But you can see that the fabric shifts a little bit, and the more layers of fabric, the more of that rippling, shifting, ocean wave-like effect you're going to possibly see. So what I'm trying to say is the more layers, the less accurate, but we don't want you to have to do this 1 layer at a time either. Rotate. Line up those corners again. And now I just need to make sure I've got my Super Duty cutter off there. Okay, separate those out as well. And now we're going to match all of our triangles together as per the instructions. So when it comes down to it, folks, what we really need to do is 16 black on the right triangles and 16 black on the left-hand side triangles. We're going to do all of those first to make sure we have everything ready. Now these triangles aren't equilateral triangles, so you see they have different kind of shapes and sizes and whatnot to them. So what you're going to do is you're going to make sure that you rotate them so that they're facing just like this, okay? And then you'll have, like I said, the other stack opposite facing just like that. What I find is easiest to do is to get them all prepared like this, half of your pile one way, half of your pile the other, and then fold them over. But I like to run the flat end through with my seam allowance. I've got a 1/4 inch seam allowance already set to my machine today. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop that in there and stitch from that square edge off of the corner, making sure that corner stays all the way up in there. I'm going to fold this over, do the same thing. And we're going to do all of our trimming and adjusting at the end. So that's going to go through like that. Now, once those have all been stitched together, and you can see, just make a nice chain, keep them all together and organized for now. We're going to really want to slow down and focus on the instructions to make sure that we get all of our color combos the same. So again, as I start to break down the pieces that I've cut, I have my red over here, my pink over here, and that's going to be made for all of our units, okay? So pink and red are always on the same sides, relative speaking. And you can see how you can rotate the triangles to make that work to your advantage. And then we'll do the same with the blues and the purples. So make sure you have those rotated like you need. Again, fold them over, line them up, mostly focused on the bottom, and I should say mostly focused on the square edges. I'm not sure if you're seeing it as bottom and top, but bottom and side. Nonetheless, square out those edges there. And begin running them through the machine. So as a reminder, the black and whites had opposite sides. The color versions do not have opposites. They're all made the same. And we'll do the same now for our purple and our blue combination. Our purple here on the right-hand side, our blue on the left. Aren't those pretty colors together? Then we'll go ahead and stitch those together as well. Just keeping track of that bottom corner so that your patchwork stays as accurate as possible to this point. Then we'll rematch them, we'll restitch them after we press, and then we'll go ahead and trim them all at the end down to size. But I'm not going anywhere. I'll walk you through all those steps still. Once you have all your pairs stitched together, go ahead and cut them free. And I like to just use the little thread cutter on my machine. It seems to work the best. Scissors, of course, rotary cutters. All of those things will cut thread, your teeth, small puppy's teeth. Sorry. Okay, making sure my iron's nice and hot over there. Now, I'm going to press to the left-hand side. Sorry, but each and every time it's just going to make most sense, even with the white and the black, because that way I can nest my pieces later, right? Because I can't say that they're always going to be on the same sides because of our color match. So now I'm just pressing everything over. These blocks are scattered throughout the project, so you won't see if there's any bit of this bleed through into the white fabric like we've all been taught to be so concerned about. It does happen, but it's not going to be the end of the world. And I'm just restacking them now also in a color order so that they're organized, and I will be able to confirm, because I do need to have 32, that I have 16 of each. Okay, so those are set there, and with the same with our colored pairs. And again, you have other colors than what you're seeing in today's video because you have all 4 colors you want to make here. as a reminder, the fun part of this month is we don't have to be in a giant rush, but you are going to want to be caught up to this point because these are the blocks that we'll start to use. And I believe we even use a few of them next month in month 5. So I don't want you to fall behind and get lackadaisical because I told you this was an easy work month. We do have another work month coming up in a few months, and it will not be an easy work month. Well, it will be, but it won't be because there's a lot more pieces. That's all I'm saying. There's a lot more. Of course, you have the pattern probably at this point, and you've read ahead. You're just waiting for me to get caught up. All right, I just wanted to press all these so you could see what's about to happen now. We're going to make new combinations where we're going to take, and what we really want to do is we want to make sure that we match up our units with 2 of each direction. Okay, so I just pulled from this pile. Now I'm going to take these 2 and I'm going to pull from this pile, right? Because I want directions that are opposites. These come together like this. Okay, does that make sense now? I'm going to go ahead and stitch these together, and I'll do the same for these, and then we'll press and we'll trim. This is where that nesting really comes in handy. You want to go ahead and match up those seams as you can, and that's why we were pressing all in one direction. And now we're going to run those long sides through the machine. Watch that seam allowance there as they come together. Also confirm you keep your corners sew off the edge. Grab your next one, match up that center seam first by kind of wiggling it together. Feed the corners in up at the top of your presser foot. Might have to lift a little bit if it's being ornery. Feed dog should pick it up pretty quick, and away we go. Once you've got all your units put together, now it's a little bit of a toss-up. Last month I was using my slotted trimmer to trim down half square triangles, and it will work for quarter square triangles, but the way the pattern is cut and adjusted, these are pretty dang accurate. Remember, we want them to finish at 4.5. So at this point, I recommend actually you press away from the black white half and then use a more traditional method to trim down, if necessary, any of these squares. Let's have a quick look at them, see what they're looking like real quick. Now, I'm looking for 4.5, and I'm basically spot on this way and this way. So if anything, I may just want to trim off the dog ears. If you needed to trim for whatever reason, maybe you're using a bit more of a scant 1/4 inch, one of the things I'm going to recommend is finding your diagonal here and utilizing that if you can to make sure that your measurement stays accurate. You can accidentally trim quarter square triangles off of center, so that no longer remains center. So again, because of the way the pattern or the kits are created, you probably find you just need to trim off those little dog ears there, and you can carefully do so just by taking it and rotating it around. And I just do that to help with the bulk down the road, making the blocks look nice and tidy. So go ahead and get all of the rest of that done as well. Set these all aside in your color combos so that you're ready to rock and roll as you need these awesome quarter square triangles for the months to come in this awesome, maybe I should say epic block of the month by Charisma Horton, Little Pink Barn, Benartex Fabrics, and myself, Rob Appell, Stitch in Heaven. Folks, thanks for being here. Make sure you let us know how you're doing in this great sew along, quilt along block of the month in the comments below. Subscribe to the channel, and thanks again for being here.